We continue באתי Legani, the first Maamar of Tafshin Chaf Aleph. Till now we explained in order to understand the midah of Netzach, which is what the 11th ois of the Maamar באתי Legani begins to explain. Netzach is the most important thing because it's not only a preparation for the avodah, for the way a person serves Hashem. Netzach is the actual avodah and the ultimate of the avodah, Kabbalah soil, to do things as a soldier, which that's the way a person has the power to do the avodah, transforming the world, changing it into a place where Hashem can rest His presence. So in order to explain that idea, which we know that Netzach is the name Tzvais, which that's similar to the concept of Tzivos Havaya. The name Tzvos is something which was revealed by the Nevi'im, by the prophets. It's not found in the Torah, although Tzivos is found in the Torah. But over there it's connected to Shem Havaya, whereas Tzvos is a name on its own. So in order to understand that, we're explaining the whole concept of Shemos, of the names of Hashem. The names of Hashem, on one hand, they express the godly energy that's in the world. On the other hand, it's Ani Nikra, we're talking to Hashem Himself, not to just a mere Sfira. As we explained, that the Sfiras are made up of Oiris and Kalim, the energy and the receptacles that contain that energy, whereas when we say a name of Hashem, it's referring to the godliness that's in the Keli, the receptacle of that specific Sfira. Then we continue to explain the fact that there is two types of names. There's Havaya and Adnai. When Hashem's name is written, it's usually written with Shem Havaya, and when it's read with the Shem Adnai. Why is it different? Because Shem Havaya is above the world, it's above the entire, it's the essence of Hashem, which is even above the existence of the world, so it can't be revealed in the world. Whereas Shem Adnai is the master of the universe, and therefore that's able to be revealed, because a master means that there's an existence of a world. When is Shem Havaya revealed? The only time it's revealed is on Yom Kippur, because that is the highest day of the year. It's removed from all the other days. Kodesh and the Kohen Gadol, whose Kodesh Kadashim was removed from the entire Jewish people. And on the time when he goes into the Kodesh HaKadashim, that's when the name of Havaya is able to be revealed and read in the proper way. The question we asked was, what do you mean? If the whole point is that even spirituality is below, can't contain Shem Havaya, so what does it help that it's the holiest of the holy, etc.? To explain that the idea is not the holiness of it, but rather the fact that it's connecting two opposites. On one hand, it's Yom Kippur. On the other hand, that's one of the days of the year. On one hand, it's the Kohen Gadol. On the other hand, he has to be a neshama inside a body, and he has to be married, etc. On one hand, it's the Kodesh HaKadashim, and on the other hand, it's space. It connects space and above space-time, and above time person and above person. That's where the Shem Havaya, the essence of Hashem, is revealed. Now we continue to say, in the middle of Ois Gimel, we're going to continue to explain this idea by explaining three opinions that there are regarding the idea of the Shemus. V'zeu gam king teichen ad teiras admer azakin b'ninat Shema is the shepirish dekoya lo atzmos nimna nimnois. The opinion of the Alter Rebbe with regards to the Shemus, the names of Hashem, is that it refers to the essence of Hashem, who's Nimna Nimnois, and as we said earlier, Nimna Nimnois means the impossible, that he can be both be and not be at the same time, both place and non-place at the same time, etc., etc. Umayvi, the Alter Rebbe brings that Pardes Pires Shem Oires Hamislapshim Ba'kelim. In the Sefer HaPardes from the Ramak Moshe Kordeviro, was a Mekubal around the time of the Arizal, or a little before the Arizal. And over there he explains that what is the Shemos. The Shemos are the Oiros, the light of Hashem, the energy of godliness, which comes down into the Kelim. So this is the Pirush of Kabbalah, and as we'll explain shortly, That according to Kabbalah, what is the Shema, is the oil, the godly energy that comes into the Keli. To reiterate what we explained earlier, just like you have a neshama and a guf, the neshama is the energy that comes into the body is the physical part of the person. The neshama is the spiritual part. In every sphira above, there's the oil, which is the godly light. There's the keli, which is almost like the physical of the spiritual of that sphira, which is the part that limits it to be a specific thing. So according to the Pardes, what's a name of Hashem when referred to Hashem? The name of Hashem, we're referring to the oil, the godly light as it comes into the keli. The light of godliness, that's the name of Hashem. V'Baal Shem Tov, Pirush, the Baal Shem Tov, which is Teiras Achsidus, he explains a different explanation, and as we mentioned earlier in the previous ayos, Sheuchayus HaKelim Atzmam, that the name of Hashem refers to the godliness not of the oil, but the godliness that sustains the keli itself. U'Mesayim Rabbeinu Pirushay, and then the Alter Rebbe explains, Alter Rebbe is Chassidus Chabad, Shekoi El Al HaAtzmos. When we say a name of Hashem, it refers to Atzmos, the essence of Hashem. Dezeu Amitis Inyan, Eila V'Loy Limidaisov, Sheu Ha'atzmos Nimna Nimnois. That's the true meaning of Eila V'Loy Limidaisov. And the truth is, each one of these three is explaining the concept of Eila V'Loy Limidaisov. Because in Kabbalah it always says, and as we explained earlier, that the name of Hashem refers to a specific sphira. But that would mean chas v'shalom when we're davening and we're saying a name of Hashem that we're having in mind a specific sphira. That would be that we're davening to the sphiras, to the midas of Hashem, to the attributes of Hashem. We know that we're told that b'chol koreinu elav, when we call out to Hashem, we have to call out elav to Him Himself, v'loy limidasav, not to His attributes. We're not supposed to daven, or we're not allowed to daven to anything other than Hashem Himself. So according to the Pardes, how do we explain elav v'loy limidasav? That we're not referring to the kelim, to the keli of the sphira, which means the limited aspect of the sphira, but rather to the oil of the sphira, to the godly light that comes into it, the godly energy that comes into it. And therefore, that's Elav to Hashem. The Baal Shem Tov explains that we're not referring to the godly light of the sphira, because the godly light is equal, it's simple. It's not the spirituality of the keli. If you say we're davening and we're having in mind a specific dimension in which a specific channel of godliness comes down into the world, the godliness, the oil is equal in all the spheres equally. Whereas the oil that comes into the keli, the sustenance that sustains the keli, that's the midah, but it's still to the godliness that's in this midah. Comes along the Alter Rebbe and he says, Elav, to Hashem Himself, to the essence of Hashem. And the Alter Rebbe explains that that's the meaning of Elav V'Loy Limidasav, of Shua Atzmos Nimna Nimnois. That's Atzmos, the essence of Hashem, which is withheld from being withheld, anything, which means was able to connect higher and lower, the light and the keli, etc. The fact that the name of Hashem is something which is found equally. Everyone speaks, everyone mentions the name of Hashem, meaning even a young child that doesn't understand anything about the spheres, he doesn't understand anything about spirituality, physicality. You ask him a question, he says, Baruch Hashem, a simple person, a young child, they say Baruch Hashem. What are they referring to? Hashem, the essence of Hashem, which is above everything, which is not limited and not unlimited. Just Hashem, the essence of Hashem. This is the Chidush. This is what is the concept which Teiras Chassidus Chabad brought into the world. Why? Let's now examine the three explanations. The Pirush HaPardes Uklalos Inina Kabbalah. How does Kabbalah explain things? Hu Shashemes Hema Iris. Kabbalah explains that Shemes are the Iris. What's Kabbalah? Kabbalah is spirituality. Kabbalah is finding the secrets of godliness in the world. And therefore, since that's the essence of Kabbalah, that's why Kabbalah explains when we talk about the Sfiris, we're talking about the spiritual aspect of the Sfiris. Kabbalah gives us the approach to the spirituality of the world. V'teiras Chassidus Aklalis. What did Chassidus give us an explanation of? Chitsha shekoyal chayus akelim atzmam she'ulemayla mi'a'iris. Kabbalah's Teiras Chassidus Chabad, Teiras Chassidus Aklalis, the Baal Shem Tov, is the one who revealed the Yechidah, the godliness that's in the world, even in the physicality of the world. So we talk about the Kalim, which isn't physical, but it's the idea of the defined concept of godliness that's in the world, that there's a Chayus Aliki, which is Mechaya the Kalim. That's what Teiras Chassidus Aklalis explains. Which that's higher than it is. That's taking it a step further than what Kabbalah does. Why? V'chayadua shebchinas iu shebegarmui u'lemayla b'chinas iu shebechayui. We know that when it says it's brought down in Zohar, iu v'chayui chad, iu v'garmui chad, meaning Hashem is one in Atzilus with the oiris of Atzilus. That's Chayui and Garmui, which is the sustenance. The Oira Liki that comes into the Sfiris of Atzilus. Iuvi Garmui means he's one with the Kalim of the Sfiris of Atzilus. And we know that Iuvi Garmui Chad, the fact that Hashem is one with the Kalim of Atzilus, is a higher level than the fact that he's one with the Oiris of Atzilus. As it's known, Shekol HaGavaya b'Yeser, Yered Lamata b'Yeser. The higher something is, the lower it comes down. So Chassidus HaKlal is brought it a step further than Teiras HaKabbalah. Teiras HaKabbalah connects a person only to the spiritual, to the Oir. Chassidus HaKlal says it's not enough the Oir is equal everywhere. Where do we really find Hashem? Inside the world, in the Kalim of the world. The lower it comes down, the higher the source is, and therefore we can find Hashem much higher over there. וחידוש האדמו"ר הזקן בחסידות חב"ד הוא שכל לעצמוס נמנויס והוא המחבר מבחינת יהוי מבחינת גמוי. What did Chassidus Chabad mean mechadish? The novelty of Chassidus Chabad specifically. What's Chassidus Chabad? Kabbalah again is understanding the spirituality where a person just understands the abstract of godliness. Chassidus HaKlalis is understanding, finding Hashem like in Ashgacha Pratis, etc., finding Hashem in the world. Chassidus Chabad is connecting two opposites, Nimna Nimnais. Chassidus Chabad is taking a seichel, a nushi, human intellect, understanding godly wisdom in a human manner, but even more than that, taking it and understanding it and expressing it in a way that it's expressed in physical action in this world. That is the power of Atzmos that unites the two opposites together. That's Nimna Nimnois. This is the meaning of what we said earlier. That Hashem says I'm called based on my actions. Despite the fact that all the names of Hashem are the channels of godliness of the spheres, the way they come down into the world. Nevertheless, to who do we daven? To the essence of Hashem. That's the true idea of Elam. Like the Maamar which is brought down in Sheirosh Mitzvah Tefillah with Tzemach Tzedek, that the Chayker who understood, who was arguing with the Mekubal, but he said, I daven according to the understanding of the small child, to the essence of Hashem himself. It's true that the Shemis are the channels from which it's brought down, But when we daven, we're having in mind the essence of Hashem, which is above all of this. So why do we need the various shemas, the various names of Hashem and the various channels in order that should be brought down into the world? It needs the channels of the Sfiras. That's what it means according to my actions. But there's the meaning of my actions. Who's being called? I myself, the essence of Hashem, the simplicity of the essence of Hashem. Now we say that just like it's in all the other names of Hashem, the same thing, the name Tzvais. It refers to the simplicity of the essence of Hashem. It's true that the name Tzvais comes down the channels through Netzach V'Hoid. But who's fighting with the Rishayim? We're discussing, we're talking about the Atzmas of Hashem, and the channel that is brought down is through Netzach and Hoid.